It's new AT-AT, the all-terrain armored transport from Kenner. Batteries not included, action figures each sold separately. You can make AT-AT walk. Its legs are big enough to crush obstacles. You can move AT-AT's head and pretend to scan for rebels. AT-AT has a cockpit for Imperial commander and AT-AT driver, and laser machine guns. When you push a button to fire the laser cannons, you activate battle lights and sounds. There's even a troop compartment. New AT-AT from Kenner's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back collection.
Hey, my Padawans, how are you guys doing tonight? Happy Friday night. I hope you guys are doing good. So, if you watch my channel, I've been doing reviews of the Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron collection, which are these tiny vehicles, you know, micro style. This is the snow speeder, and I enjoy collecting the smaller vehicles because they save space. Now this is the snow speeder from The Empire Strikes Back, Luke Skywalker. But tonight I thought I'd do something real different. Here we have my 2010 Legacy Imperial Walker. Or they call it AT-AT. You can call it AT-AT. Or all-terrain armored transport, but in the movie they call him Imperial Walker, and then in the commercial they call him the AT-AT. So it doesn't matter what you call it. It's the biggest Empire threat. It's one of their biggest machines. It sort of looks like a dog, but this is all-terrain. This means that it can go anywhere, you know, with its huge legs. And it has a lot of power, a lot of destruction. Now, the reason I'm making this review, again, is because this was released 15 years ago by Hasbro. And you always saw it back here in my shows when I used to do the other shows live, or when I make videos. You always saw it like sitting back here, just like doing nothing, right? So what I did is I grabbed some batteries, I installed the batteries, and I'm going to show you how amazing this toy is. All right, it's one of the best. Now, last year I did a review of the Millennium Falcon, the Legacy Millennium Falcon, and this is the next, you know, bad boy. So what we had is Hasbro. Let me give you a sort of a history. They released, in 1981, they released this AT-AT Walker, Imperial Walker, Kenner, for the Empire Strikes Back. 1980 was Empire Strikes Back, but they had the toy in 81. And they also had a toy in 1982 for Return of the Jedi. It was just a different box, but it was the vintage collection. I never had that one. My friend had it. It was not a very, I don't remember getting it on Christmas. It was like, you know, only the rich kids got this one. Okay? That's just the way it was. But, so it was released in 1981, but for a long time we didn't get an Imperial Walker. So in 95, they did come out with another Walker, but it was the same sort of mold from 1981, 1982. They just added a couple of features to it. It wasn't that great. But finally, in 2010, Hasbro and my buddy Mike, rest in peace, redesigned the entire toy. This is a brand new, you know, exclusive mold that they came with. They said, we're just going to redo the toy. And you guys understand that toys evolve over the years. Okay, so this is the best version of the AT-AT Walker. And if you have the old one, just get rid of it. It's trash. Nobody cares. It was, you know, for its time, it was good. But you know, we're in 2025, so yeah. So this AT-AT Walker, Imperial Walker, is 15 years old. This toy right here, and it's in mint condition. It's perfect condition. I've only displayed it. It's right out of the box. I think I threw away the box. But this is one of the greatest Star Wars toys by Hasbro ever made. Okay, you do have the Millennium Falcon, which I already talked about last year. You have the Death Star playset, which has never been released again. The Death Star playset is really, it was large in 1970, I think it was 1978, 79. But the AT-AT Walker, you know, again, you can call it whatever you want. I like calling it the AT-AT Walker, but all-terrain armored transport, because it has a lot of armor on there. Now, this is one of the best toys ever made. Of course, you know, Empire Strikes Back is considered one of the greatest films, you know, of all time. Okay, so again, I got the Snowspeeder here from the Star Wars Micro Galaxy Collection. Now, I don't have. They did release this one on the Micro Galaxy Squadron line. I don't have it. When I do get it, I will review it. But you know, it's about this big. You know, it's not. You know, it's micro. Now this baby, it's about three. It's about 3. Well, yeah, it's about 3 feet tall. This is about 3 feet. And what I'm gonna do tonight is I'm gonna show you the features, what it does, why it's so incredible. And I have this angle right now where I had to get the table on this side and move it around, and I'm gonna show you just, you know, this is a great. This is one of the greatest. Now, if they were gonna release this today, 15 years later, I assume it would cost like $600, $700, because it's just Disney now, and you know they're kind of greedy. Now, when I bought this, I got it at Toys R Us in 2010. I think it was like $175, but now you can get it on eBay. Now, don't buy any used thing. Don't buy used toys, all right? I looked it up. You can get it probably for between $500 and $600 in the box. You only want to get it in the box. You don't want to get a used one, because they're always missing parts and broken and stuff. So it's not about the value of the toy. I'm just letting you know, like, if you wanted to get one on eBay, because you know they don't make them anymore. They haven't made this toy in 15 years. They haven't. They did have one for Rogue One. It's called the AT-AT, but that was very small, and that is supposed to be the prototype of the AT-AT Walker before Empire Strikes Back. And I don't know. That's a good toy, but this is the best. So let me show you. The reason I have this camera angle is because I want to show it from far away, you know, so you understand the size of the toy. And I don't know if I wouldn't even call it a toy, because this is just amazing. So again, the reason I'm doing this review, because I mean, when in 2010, I don't think I was doing reviews, and I thought, hey, let's clean it up. I did clean it up with a soft cloth and a damp and Armor All. I added some Armor All on there, so I cleaned it up a little bit. You know, you got to maintain your toys. So let's look at the let's just look at the exterior here. All right, look at the size of this thing. Okay, now I want to show you. I am going to show you the details and the features of the toy, but I want to show you the, you know, the way it looks, like a 360 view of what it looks like. And you know, the Empire Strikes Back, that scene on Hoth, you know, the Battle of Hoth, is just incredible. Now I want to show you the legs do have movement, okay? As you can see right there, it makes a lot of noise, but it does have movement. I could go like that, like this, You know, you could do that if you wanted to do that. Okay. Now I know it's loud, but you know, now this came off a little bit, but it does have the articulation of the original. Now the original sort of did the same thing. And these are, you know, they do move. So let's just do it, you know. I just wanted you guys to realize that the joints move. Okay, like that. That's on 3 legs right there. That's a back leg. Okay. Look at that. And I know it sounds loud, but you can't break it. You know, and you could do this way, you could do that. You could do that. You know, if he's gonna step on Luke or Dak or something like that. But let's bring it back to the normal, sort of like the normal stand. Okay. How about that? That sort of looks like the scene from the movie. Let's do. Let's go with that. All right, let's leave it right there. So as you can see, it's very articulate. You know, you can move the legs any way you want. You know, it's very heavy. It's solid. It's very well made. It's one of Hasbro's best work, bro. It really is. All right. Now this might be a little long, but let's get to the next part. Now, let me show you something real quick before we switch to the close-ups. Now here on the top, we have I'll show you later, but we have this like this control thing that moves the head. As you can see right here on the top, that's how you control the head. It's like a manual, I don't know, steering wheel. It's like a manual steering wheel that moves the head around. As you can see that, and I'll show it to you a little bit more in detail. But it's really, it's sort of like the original toy. The original toy had sort of the same feature as you saw. You know, you can lift the head up and down, side to side. So this is really cool. So let's move to the next part of the review, where I'm going to show you like the features and the other stuff that it can actually do. It's pretty cool. Let's do it. All right, so now what I'm doing here is I'm holding the camera, as you know, trying to get a different angle of the walker, and I'm trying to get the best view. Now let's start with the front here. What you have here is a window in the front cockpit that's red. It has a red tint. It's really cool looking. So we're going to look at the details. Here we have the laser turrets. Now let's look at what it does here. This shoots the lasers. Well, they sort of look like missiles, but they're actually lasers. So check this out. We're going to shoot that out. There's a button right there. And there you go. It's out. And these, these move up and down, just like in the film, like in the movie. Now here you have the ion cannons. Okay, but I am going to turn off the lights and show you the ion cannons. And again, here we have the other side of the laser turret. And it also shoots right here, so that's pretty cool. Here's the control that I was talking about. On the top, you have this thing that comes off. You push it open like that, and you grab it. You turn these over. Okay, you turn these around. And they're also like laser guns. I mean, that's not in the movie. That wasn't really in the movie. They just made that so you can grab this and control the head. You know? Like control the head with this control. And I think that's a pretty cool, I mean, the old toy had it on the inside. Okay. So this is right on top. Right there on top. But I wanted you to appreciate the paint job on this. Okay, look at the detail on this thing. The armor, you know, it is called the armor. The wash, the work, the paint. It's just incredible. Now it did come with decals. These are decals that I added. It's supposed to be like a, you know, like a snow, I guess like freezing snow or something, as you can see how it reflects. So that is a decal, a sticker, and I decided to put it here, and I added one here to the back of the leg, and I added one here to the other back of the leg, and this one here on the back is sort of like damaged, you know, laser damage. But I mean, this thing is just incredible, bro. And I'm just looking at the exterior. I did add armor all on this part because this part is all plastic and it can, you know, break. So I cleaned it up with armor all. And same with this side, you know. Now, let me show you one of the features. Let's start with this. These windows that can open on the side. There's one, okay, and there's another one on the other side. So let's just keep them open, because let's do that. Now let's start with the cockpit here. Here's the lid, you open it up, and what I have here is I have one of the drivers. Oh, well, I don't know what happened to this guy. He's supposed to be standing. Right there. And as you can see, the top of the cockpit has a lot of like detail and stickers. And here's the added driver. He's driving it, and you can see there. You can see a lot of the controls. Now it did come with the added driver. That's all it comes with. Now let's look at the special effects. See that button right there? It does come with this. You know, this is supposed to be the you know, part of the movie. This guy's helmet is coming off. Let's press it, see what happens.
Rebel forces in range. Forward deflectors at full power. Red lights.
You guys hear that?
Target the rebel scum. I've reached the main power generators. All troops will debark for ground assault.
So these are the power main generators. And this does light up, which I am going to show you when I turn off the lights.
Don't fail me.
So that's the front of the AT-AT Walker, and I think it's amazing. Now let's look at the side. If you look at the side here, you know, you see a couple of doors, kind of like the original one. And here, this opens up, and this part opens up. And I do have one of the, I think I got one of the drivers in there. I don't have that much in there. Let me see. I was trying to get, let me see if I can find another figure here. All right, I got the droid in there, one of the droids. This is one of the Empire droids here. Very cool, limited. Now, what you can do here, this also has sounds. There's a button right there.
Red lights.
And these are the red lights. I don't know exactly what that means. It's just like an alarm.
All right, men, load your weapons. Troops standing by for deployment.
And there's
Ground troops deployed, sir.
deployment alarm. Now, what you have here on this side, what you have here is sort of a elevator grappling hook. This is the way they come in up and down, and it's stored right here. So what you do is you take it out, and you put down the pedals right there, like, you know, where the guys are gonna stand at. And this comes down like that. Okay, so now what you do is, you know, you grab your, I don't know, let's just say this droid. I'm just giving you an example here. All right. Let me get a figure here. Let me get this guy. So he's just going to be there hanging out. You know, he's hanging in there. I guess the droid stays down here. And what you're going to do is it has this dial that you have to turn. Okay. And he's coming up. You see that? It's right there. You can see it right there. And that's how they get on top of the, I guess that's how they get on top of the, and you sort of have to, like, you know, make up for it. And, you know, he finally makes it to the top. And this thing is like sort of an elevator that they use, and it's on both sides. Okay, there's one on this side and one on the other. So that's how they get to the top of the added walker. Okay, and what you do after that is just put it back in there. You know, it does have these pegs that, you know, the figures have these holes on the bottom of the feet. I don't know if you guys can see that. And you just stick it in there, and that's how, you know, you bring them up. And then after that, you just put it back in. Okay, and then you just close the door. So that's a really cool thing. And let's look at the other side. Just turn it around. Now on the other side, it's the exact same thing. Okay. He's over there sitting right there. Now let's bring him up to the control room. Oh, come on, bro. Stand up. But we just stand him right there. How's that? Now this is an ATST driver, but that's okay. You know. Now let's move it down here. Now let's look at more of the sound effects.
We're taking heavy fire, sir.
Oh shit. They're taking heavy fire, bro. Now, this fits a lot of figures, you know, snowtroopers, stormtroopers. I mean, I do have this scout trooper that I got here that I brought out. So I guess I could put that Scout Trooper right there, just, you know, just to hang out. This Scout Trooper is from the Power of the Force in 1995. So it does have a lot of room in there, and I'll show you the other thing that it can do. But let's go to the back, because this is where it gets a little bit interesting. Now, the back of the AT-AT Walker has this compartment that's not in the original toy. None of this is in the original toy. You don't have the, you know, the up and down elevator, the gadgets. You don't have the sound effects like that. You do have the lasers, and I'm going to show you that later. But what we have in the back here, it opens up, and we do have one of these snow speeder bikes. And this speeder bike is loaded to the back of the walker. And that you don't see that in the movie, but it actually was you know, it was in the script. It was planned. So it has this really cool thing that, you know, these buttons that you press and it just comes right out. And you could remove it. You know, I'm going to remove it to show it to you. There's the compartment. And you can put a little bit more figures in there. Let's bring the you guys hear that? Now here's a speeder bike for the snow terrain, because each speeder bike is different. You know, this is why this is white, and it has the logo for the Empire, and this is sort of different than the 1995 and the original Return of Jedi speeder bike. So this is an upgrade. Now this figure, I have it from 1995, so it's not it doesn't come with a figure for the speeder bike, which is okay, no problem. You know, let's try to stand them up right there. But this is, like, again, this is the speeder bike that comes with the walker, and I think it's great. And then you put it back in there. You know, I'll do it later. But you push it back in, and then you close the lid, and that's the back of the. That's the back of that. Now let's close it up a little bit here, and show you one of the final sort of features that it has. On the bottom, let me go down to the bottom right here. You know, do you remember that scene where Luke Skywalker, you know, where is this thing? It's supposed to be up here. There you go. There's the this is where you put Luke Skywalker, where he's gonna go up there and throw the grenade. And luckily, I do have Luke right here. Okay, I got Luke. So let's hook him up to this. See how I can do this. Let me put the camera over here real quick. Let me see here. Okay, how's that? Luke is right there. He's going to go up. And what you do, there's a button up inside. Because, you know, in the movie, he goes up and he throws a grenade into the bottom of the AT-AT Walker. Right there on that entrance. And he's using a grappling hook. You know, I guess he has like a grappling hook or something. And this recreates it very well, very cool. So what we're going to do is there's a button inside here that we're going to press. As you can see, Luke is coming up. He's coming up. Oh! There you go. Just like the movie. You see? Now he's down there hiding. and he's gonna throw the grenade inside. And this is this button right there. So that's awesome. You don't have that in the original toy. So what I'm gonna show you now is the most important part of the toy is the ion cannons, which I really love. And then I want to show it to you in the dark, sort of dark. You know, just show you with the features of it. So, give me a second. All right, but before I go on, I want to tell you that this is the Hoth version of the AT-AT Walker. Now, there was another one that was in a Toys R Us exclusive, I think, that was for Endor, for the moon of Endor. And that was different. It had mud on the legs here. All right, so here we are in the dark. And we are going to press some of the buttons and get the...
Rebel forces in range.
Let's see what it looks like.
Rebel Snowspeeder Squadron approaching on your flank.
There's the alarm going off.
Red lights.
Okay, so that's the back, the compartment in the back. You get the red lights. We got that. Now in the front cockpit, let's look at it more. I turned off the lights a little bit here. Let's see what it looks like.
Don't let Skywalker escape.
Oh, damn.
Rebel forces spotted. Preparing attack vectors.
So that's the cockpit and the I guess not really the dark, but so here we get to the final part of the what I really like, because this is sort of like the original toy. Let me see if I can move it around here to a little bit of a darker spot. See if you can tell right here. As you can see the cannon. These are the ion cannons. And what you have here is you have this control under the head, that when you press down like that, it's not that dark in here because it's still daytime. But that's the way the ion cannons sound. And this is sort of like, that's a throwback to the original toy from '81. All right, well, I think that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the review for the AT-AT Walker, Imperial Walker from Empire Strikes Back. This is the Legacy collection from 2010. This toy is 15 years old, and they have not re-released it since then. So this is the final, version of it. And if you can get it for $500, $600, it will be, I think it's worth it. Anyway, I hope you guys like the review, guys. Leave me a comment, and may the force be with you. Bye.